It's the Chatelaine edition on Cityline, and we are celebrating 85 years of Chatelaine magazine. Everything old is new again. Please welcome Samantha Pynn, who's going to talk a little bit about decor. So, this is what's cool about this edition of Chatelaine. There is a lot of looking back, including decor. And you know, we look at shows like Mad Men and all these period shows, and we look back at the decor and think there are so many trends that we are seeing now from back then. They've really stood the test of time.
Yes.
We have a picture of a formal living room we want to show you that is in Chatelaine magazine. Look at how beautiful that is.
You can have that now.
You can have it now.
You'd make a few tweaks.
Right.
But it still works, and it's funny because the pillows are orange, and I've got lots of orange accents here, and I love that you mentioned Mad Men, because I think the entire set, and I think the world right now is being inspired by Mad Men.
Absolutely.
And whether they realize it or not, it's just sort of seeping in, you know, those low, lean, sleek lines.
Right,
so,
absolutely, and we all want to be married to Don Draper. Just admit it.
You know,
he's
why
pretty
not?
Hot. He's pretty sizzling.
He's okay.
Really?
It's okay.
Okay, we'll talk about it later. Okay, so back to the set.
Yes.
When you think of sort of that retro vibe, you do think of the low furniture, and the very sleek lines. But look at the updates. Like, let's start by talking about these chairs.
Well, okay, so here's what's interesting.
Chairs.
So these are Thomas Pheasant Studio B for Baker, and as is the sofa. And he really looks back at the classics. Like, we're talking Greco-Roman times and design. So. Yes, updated, totally mod. This is inspired by a coffered ceiling, this paneling here, in the Basilica. Is that not crazy?
Look at that.
But it's that tub chair, it's a swivel.
Right.
And you know what? We had swivel chairs as kids. You know, I grew up in the 70s, and my parents had them from their first apartment, and we would spin around them all the time. So when I saw these, I was like, I have to bring these onto the set. Because they're so old school, but they're now. You know what I mean?
They absolutely are. The sofa as well, it's like the details, like you see the back sort of dips a little bit.
Back, and then the arms come in, and it's like a hug.
Yeah,
that's how they described it to me at Studio B. It's like a hug.
That's very nice.
And it's just, again, lean, low, a nod to mid-century modern for sure, but definitely inspiration from the classics.
Yes.
And everything you see here and everything you see in that Chatelaine picture from 1966 is classic. It's timeless. This is not trendy furniture.
Well, that's probably why it looks so good, right? Because if you go with the trends, you know, probably in about 10, 15 years, you're going to want to jump out your window.
Yeah.
Right? You need the new sofa, you need the new everything. If you go with the pieces that are timeless, they're always going to be in style.
Well, like the coffee
table as well.
Yes, which is resin, and then we've got the bronze. And it's the materials that are timeless too. I mean, if you look to our picture, it's the bronzes, it's resin, it's the rich woods, the mahoganies. And then it's a little bit more casual because the fabric is a linen. Yep. And then just if you want to play around, and you know, you're talking about the whole 10-year thing, play with pillows, you know, like add some orange pillows, and then you can change it up or go with muted grays. And
very nice.
Yeah.
We're going to talk a little bit more about colors, because when we do think of the 60s and 70s, we think about some gross colors.
Yeah. Okay.
It was just like we had it wasn't even forest green, it was more of an olive green, like that color, velvet wallpaper in our living room, and it was in paisley.
This was my
fridge. That was our wallpaper.
This
the avocado fridge, right?
Avocado green. This was, I think it was called Harvest Gold, also known as Poopy Yellow in my books. Poopy yellow, and then I don't even know what you call this orange. It's like the colors were more
sienna or something.
Something like that.
It's sort of like that crayon, that Crayola crayon color.
And muted, exactly. But now, if you look at the grass cloth on the walls, and I purposely picked grass cloth, and I'm glad you mentioned Mad Men, because this grass cloth is the exact same grass cloth that is in Dawn and Megan's bedroom on the latest season of Mad Men. Yes.
Oh, that's awesome.
But the color is so much more vibrant, right? It's just rich, and there's a bit of a shimmer to it. And even if you look at our art, this is art from Art Interiors. You know, we used to have all those oil paintings, landscapes. Now art is so personal. We're talking about mixed media, so acrylic and oil with resin on top, so you get that shine. And then mixed media, so it's like photos that have paint on top and then glaze on top, so that it's more modern. Even though the landscapes that are in oil are still fantastic.
And is that where you've incorporated the poopy yellow?
There is no poopy yellow.
Well, that's what I thought.
It's
what would you say is the update
pretty.
to poopy yellow?
I think you can see it in the art, definitely.
Nice pale yellow.
Pale, soft yellow.
Right.
And you know, it's even creams. I think we've moved away from those mustards and we've moved into the soft, creamy, dreamy colors.
For sure.
And then shimmer too. If you look at that grass cloth, there's some shimmer. And speaking of shimmer, we've got some on our table here. Our Studio B Baccarat vase.
Very nice.
This is very fancy.
Look at that.
Gorgeous.
And look at how sparkly and blingy it is.